You're listening to
Sticky Note Conversations with Erika Washington. Way below acceptable. Way below acceptable.
On this week's episode,
these kids today, they own their stuff. I guarantee you that there's old R&B stars sitting around. You know, back in my day, they let us have that. They gave me a Cadillac.
You got a Cadillac and a bill.
Yep. Yeah.
Way below acceptable.
Hey there, Sticky Note listeners. It's your host and executive producer and creator, Erika Washington. And, you know, I thought this week we'd have a little bit of fun. We've had a lot of really deep, heavy conversations as this season has started. And I thought, you know what? It's time to just relax a little bit and bring back an old friend, talk about some hot topics and the Oscars specifically, because when this airs, the Oscars will take place the day after. So we're going to do some predictions here, I think, and try to see, you know, what we get right. So let's sit back and enjoy the Sticky Note Conversations with Erika Washington and the famous birthday boy, Derek Washington.
Whoa. Creaking bones. I'm old. Hello.
Well, the day that this airs, it will be your birthday. So
Yay.
March 14th.
Which is also the date of the very first film ever. Yeah, I was born that year. Very first film when they learned how to use celluloid. I think I was an extra in Birth of a Nation.
Shut up. Well, happy 120th birthday.
Yeah, it's about that.
But you get 314 Day, which is St. Louis holiday.
Oh, okay.
It's a St. Louis holiday, 314 Day. So you get 314, you get Pi Day, all that.
Really? Okay,
yeah.
Well, Sammy Davis Jr. was born on my birthday. I believe is Michelle Obama's birthday the same?
No, Michelle Obama is a Capricorn.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Didn't mean to get into your territory.
You are. You are.
I'm claiming her, though.
Obama
She's
is
cool.
You claim her all you want, but she's a whole Capricorn and acts like a Capricorn and loves being a Capricorn. So carrying right
Erika,
along.
What sign are you?
I'm a Capricorn, baby.
Yeah, okay.
Capricorn with a lot of Virgo tendencies. A lot of my houses are in Virgo. So I'm here to work and work hard and wonder why other people ain't working as hard as they possibly could be.
Let's work it to the bone, bone, bone. Let's work it to the bone, bone, bone.
She works hard for the money.
Yes, she does.
So I wanted this particular episode to be today, one, because it's your birthday, but also two, because the Oscars will be airing the day after this episode airs live. And I wanted us to do some predictions. So in the beginning, I said we're going to watch all the movies and the documentaries and the shorts and everything so that we could have a comprehensive conversation. But as one does, you don't watch all those movies and you don't have time, nor do you have access to every single one of them. So we're going to talk about what we saw.
As we will discuss.
Right. Or you just have no interest and really don't want to watch it and it feels more like homework. Yeah. So thinking about that, I want to jump right in to Oscars 2026, the 98th. This is the 98th Oscars. So yay.
With our special guest host, Conan O'Brien.
Conan O'Brien is hosting for the second year in a row, so we'll see how he does. I don't have thoughts about Conan O'Brien one way or the other. He's fine.
You know what? If Milquetoast had a poster boy, that's Conan. I like an edgier host, like say a Ricky Gervais, a Trevor Noah, but I get Jimmy Kimmel. I love hosting anything. But
Jimmy Kimmel would have been great, especially since, you know, his most recent cancellation.
Right.
But they might be a little nervous to have him.
I think they are. And you know, Conan and Jay Leno ain't never going to upset anybody, really. They might get a little... No one. They will never upset anyone. So, yes. You know.
So, Conan O'Brien is hosting, and so
they should have T.S. Madison host.
Who?
T.S. Madison, the transgender chick. She's a big, white, black girl. She's funny.
I don't know if I know who
You have
she
to look up
is.
T.S. Madison.
I know. I'll have to
Yeah.
look her up.
Yeah.
Oh, when they have a trans host, like that will be
They can
moving
have an
into the
alternative.
modern times.
They
For
can have an
sure, for
alternative.
sure.
Yeah, they can do Turning Point Oscars. Things like Touched by
So,
an Angel reruns.
so let's start with movies. Okay, we're just gonna go
Okay.
right to the movies, the Best Picture nominee. So first and foremost, I want to say Sinners got 16 nominations, I believe.
16 or 13? Yes,
16.
it's a team. Okay, most
They
ever,
had
I think.
16. Yeah, they have, and historically, they are the most nominated movie. And it's a Black movie. There's no doubt about it. This is a Black movie. And one of the first things that came to mind was, a few years ago, there was the hashtag Oscar So White, because every category and everything was, there was a real lack of diversity, not just diversity in nominating Black people, but just anybody. It was just Oscar So White. And that really got pushed. And I feel like the academies heard folks when that was said. And then there was sort of a takes backseat on that. But then at the same time, here we are again this year. And you have a undecidedly or a very decidedly Black movie in Sinners with no white savior whatsoever. And it's gotten the most nominations of any movie ever.
Going back to Oscar So White, trivia question. Do you know what happened during Oscar So White that led to the slap heard round the world at a later Oscars event?
No, I don't know the connection. I know about the slap heard around the world for sure.
The connection.
We're talking
the
about
6
Will
degrees-
Smith
Yeah.
and
who did he slap?
what's his name?
Is
Chris
it-
Rock. Chris Rock.
There you
Thank
go.
Okay. I'm like, what? I need you could have just said it. You could have just said it's Chris Rock. So, anywho, Chris Rock got slapped by Will Smith over some stuff that he said.
About
Jada Pinkett Smith.
now.
I don't know what it was
back
about.
to Oscar So White.
Would you just say what it was? Oh my God.
Okay.
Jesus.
So Jada Pinkett Smith said that she was boycotting Oscar So White. Chris on Twitter. Chris Rock answered back, ain't nobody inviting Jada Pinkett to the Oscars. That is what started the fight. Because wasn't Chris Rock the host that year, or he had something to do with it that year. But the point is, he made that comment, and that comment pissed off Jada and Will so bad.
He said something about how she looked, though.
No, that was the final straw. Remember, it's never the 13th thing. It's the 12 things that led up to it. They were off of him because of that Oscar So White comment, and then everybody picked up on it and was making fun of Jada on Black Twitter. Now let's go back to the Black movie. See connections.
Thank you for that moment in history. So movies, yes. Sinners, 13 nominations, and then One Battle After Another got 13 nominations, which not a Black movie, has Black lady in it for a little while anyway. Teyana Taylor, who I think is an excellent actor. I have thoughts around that movie, though. Anywho, we'll get to that. So, Best Picture nominees: Begonia, F1, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams. So, of those, which ones did you watch, Derek Washington?
Okay, so I have seen the trailers for all of them. I did what the average American does. When you go to the movies and right when your buzz is at its highest, that is when those stupid trailers come on. And you waste the first 20 minutes of your buzz when you're really there just to see the Muppets, and you have to watch all this stuff. So Sinners, definitely. I mean, I've watched a lot of it on YouTube. Sinners is an obvious choice. I think it's great. I love it. You don't know this about me. I have read Dracula probably 20 times, the original book, and I watch every Dracula movie. Yeah, I love Dracula. See?
It's Frankenstein, not Dracula.
No, we're talking about Sinners.
Okay, you're talking about Sinners. Okay, well, what does
I'm saying
Sinners have to do
vampires.
with Dracula?
Vampires.
This tells me how you
Interesting.
didn't see the movie because I'm like, why are we talking about Dracula?
No, I love anything to do with the
Yes, there's some
undead.
vampires in there.
Right.
But
So
the
anything to
vampires are
do-
more, it's a symbolism of such. I mean, they are actually like sucking people's blood a little bit, but it's still,
Yeah.
it's a symbolism.
You know, I'm too shallow for symbolism, so let's move on. I definitely would like to see that. I also love an undead movie. So Frankenstein, absolutely, absolutely, and the set designs and the makeup and all of that stuff in Frankenstein looks like what a Frankenstein movie should look like.
Yeah, I heard really good things about the Frankenstein movie. And that was one I was not interested in because that doesn't interest me
You don't like horror
to
movies,
watch.
do you?
No, like
No,
Sinners,
no.
it took a while before I would even go see Sinners. I had to have a few people tell me, and people I had really trusted tell me that it wasn't going to scare me. And so I had to, and then I had to like negotiate with myself. But once certain people who told me that I could believe, because like, oh, it's not scary, it's not scary. I don't know what you mean by that, and so I need somebody who understands what I mean when I say it.
Yeah.
And so I did go see it, and I went to go see it with the girls. Actually, I feel like all the kids were with me to see Sinners. Yes, because I didn't see it until graduation. It was, I think, right around graduation time last year, and so I saw it and I was like, oh, this is good. This is really good because I like symbolism. You know, I want the nuance. I want to think deeper as to like what this really means and how this shows up in like real life. And I think that's important.
Whereas I like stuff that blows up. So yeah, but yeah.
Well, there's a little
support it.
shooting happening, you know,
Yeah,
and then there's
and
a
I
little
saw that.
gore for you.
Yeah,
You know, there's
So I'm into that.
romance. There's all of it. Everything's there.
The one thing they don't do in the trailer, and I have to ask you, in your opinion, how long from the opening scene is it until Michael B. Jordan takes his shirt off? Next year. That's what's important.
I'm trying to think if I don't know that he ever fully takes his shirt off.
So you see Chesticle like with the old fashioned shirt all sort of grimy and open a little.
Because I think he does have like the undershirt on, and so I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think when it's pretty deep into the movie because you know we don't even because you know he's playing two different characters, and so there's two different women, so then there's two different scenes, and I'd have to think the second one was a little bit more. The second one was a little bit more gritty, I think. So, but don't get me the line of which one is Smoke and which one is Stack. So that I'm never good at remembering which character is whom. But the twins are Smoke and Stack, which is Michael B. Jordan.
I would watch him in a Jake from State Farm commercial where he was the next door neighbor.
Yeah, he could read the phone book if he wants to. Like, it's fine. Like I got some mail over here. If he just want to read like the terms, you know, if they had him reading the terms and conditions that you have to click to say that we all lie and say that we read so that we can move on to a website. But if he showed up and be like, I have to read these terms and conditions to you, like, oh, okay, I'm really interested. I really need to understand. How is my privacy affected?
How could it be affected, Michael B. Jordan?
Right. You said you have to come over when to check out what? Oh, okay, great.
Hook it up here. So what's next?
And so One Battle After Another. That is a movie with Sean Penn, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Teyana Taylor. And others.
That movie I will watch because it's politics, it's action. I saw some stuff blow up. I like Leonardo DiCaprio. I like Sean Penn when he's not being so weird.
Well, he's being weird, all right.
Okay, well, yeah.
You know, and I think Sean Penn did a good job as a weirdo man that he's playing. And you haven't seen it. Like, I'm not really here for spoilers, even though it's like whatever at this point.
Spoil it.
I didn't love it. Like, I did not love it. And I thought I would like it because there are people, these are, top actors or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounded like it would be a good movie. But I watched it, and I watched it on a plane, and it took me one plane ride. And then I think I finished the rest in the lounge or something because it was long. It's like over
So it's
2
one of those
hours
4-hour
long. And
freaking
I was
movies.
just like, and I was thinking, like, why are we still here? Why are we still, why is it still happening? And if I start thinking about how long the movie is, that means the movie is too long. And I don't mind a long movie. But even more so, Teyana Taylor is not throughout the entire movie. She's only in the beginning. And they make her such a Venus Hottentot. Like, she's so over-sexualized in a way that really is offensive. And there's using your body and your sexuality in order to, gain what you need to gain. Cool, fine, whatever. I'm no prude, but maybe I'm a little bit of a prude. But to the point of like, it was almost like she didn't know how to use anything else. Like, that was her only tool in her chest, And
isn't she playing like a revolutionary leader?
But no, she's not the leader. She's not a leader. She's a part of and they don't even really get into the revolutionary part. Like, the revolutionary part is there, and they're out here blowing stuff up, and they're robbing banks, and they're doing stuff for the greater good, and having to do with releasing immigrants who are being detained, and something to do with the environment or something. But you don't really understand what their cause is. You don't really understand the why or the depths of it. And it seems like her parents maybe were also revolutionaries, but you don't get into the depths of that. Like, there's no depth to the Black woman or any Black woman that's in the movie. Like, you don't really understand or know. And so you don't understand what her motivations are, except for to rabble rouse and then use her sexuality to move around these white men particularly. And Leonardo DiCaprio just got on my nerves. Like, he just got on my nerves. Somebody said, I'd watched something, and somebody said that he was comedic a little bit. And it was sort of funny, I think, but I don't know if he was meant to be. He was just like a pothead, and he was so out there that to me, it was just like, you're useless because you can't even think correctly. You don't even know what you're doing. And he was just sort of bumbling. I don't know. I was just really annoyed by it.
I have a question then. So from Oscar so white to just, let's even go back to the 70s or whatever, is Teyana Taylor's character a step forward in the sense that a Black woman can be cast as just an inane sex pot and a total throwaway character as white blondes have been forever, say not a Jennifer Lawrence because she's too smart, but the type I'm talking about. Some white chick who has 2 years of fame because she was sexy as a sex pot in a Bond movie or something. Yeah. So is that progress though?
No, I honestly, I think it to me, it was a trope. It was the same old trope of Black women are over-sexualized and they leave their children. They're irresponsible and they have no morals. That's really what it came down to, because I just really never expected. She was such an unsavory character, and she didn't have to be perfect in any shape, form, or fashion, but she's so unsavory.
So tell me this. How did she score the nomination? Is it the movie or is it her competitors?
She's a good actress. I'm not taking away from Teyana Taylor as a person.
You're taking away from the character.
I'm taking away from the character in the movie. The movie sucks, and the plot line sucks, and the way they have her character behaving sucks. She is a good actress. There are other movies that she has been in that I could recommend and showed her true chops of what they are.
No, I love her.
1001. If you want to see something good, you want to see something brilliant, that she is in 1001. It came out in 2023, and she plays the heck out of that part. Like, that to me showcases her acting abilities, but also that she, her because she's from New York, so you get a lot of that New York out of her or what have you. But yeah, it's an excellent movie, and it's multi-dimensional. Like, she's a multi-dimensional person. She is not just this. In one battle after another, I don't know who she is besides a sex pot and somebody who will go, and help put bombs together or whatever. But even when she's just sitting around watching him and he's trying to show her how to make a bomb, and she's like, ooh, come over here.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
Girl, come on now. And then when they go and they put the bomb and the bomb is getting ready to blow up, and she's like, let's do it right now while the bomb is blowing up. Are you serious? He's like, we have to get away from here. No, in the car right now. You know what? I'm moving on because it just doesn't make any sense.
For those of us who are shallow and have a lower standard of filmmaking than Erika, I think that there is no greater performance than her as the baby mama in that Tyler Perry movie where she goes, Byron. And if you know, you know.
I don't, and I'm glad I don't.
I like
of all the rest of the movies that I plan on seeing, and I might try to see before the Oscars premiere. I'll try to see Hamnet because it's supposed to be like Hamlet when he was little or something. So
I'm
nerdy enough to watch that.
It's the story of his wife, actually. Hamnet is basically the reason he wrote the play Hamlet. But the whole point there is about the wife suffering, about losing their child, Hamnet. I will sit through anything Elizabethan. If there's a sword, if there's a horse, if there's an empire waist, but in that sort of thing with the pointy hat, I'll sit through anything Elizabethan. So that I will sit through. I love that time period. So I'm good there. But I don't know any of the people. It's Liza Marshall, Pippa Harris, Nicholas Gonda. I don't even know. I don't know these people. But again,
I don't know them either.
But it's Oscar bait total. It's got everything is that tinted sort of like bluish green, like they've never seen sun. Which, could you just give me Warner Brothers? Could I just have MGM color? Could I just have Errol Flynn and that woman? Can I get that, Olivia de Havilland? I need color. Just because something's set back then, it doesn't mean it has to be dreary. But this is one of the dreary Oscar movies.
I might see Sentimental Value. I might try to see.
Yeah, is that the Julia, what's your name movie, Roberts?
No, Julia Roberts is not up for anything, I don't think.
No, but the movie. No?
Elle Fanning is in it.
Oh no, I don't want to see that. Oh my God. That looks like an Ingmar Bergman movie. That looks horrible. That looks like the type of thing that I would literally, if someone took me to that halfway through, I would be like, if you thought that you were getting any of this after, it is so not going to happen, and go get me some more popcorn. No, I'll go get it, and I'll be in another.
Oh, you're so bossy.
Anything else?
Okay, so no taking you on a date to see Sentimental Value.
No, but I tell you what, though, that Alexander Skarsgård is in it, and I have a feeling that, because think about something, you've got Timothée Chalamet, Mr. Jenner, up against Michael B. Jordan in a movie that you have already said has no white savior, okay? Nobody wants to give Timothée Chalamet an Oscar yet because he's obnoxious and he sort of like hasn't paid his dues. And if you give it to Michael B. Jordan, then you have that sort of like woke thing going on because again, there's no white savior. I have a feeling that Oscar Skarsgård, or whatever his name is going to come up the middle and take the award. Because you know what? It's that type of movie. He's very handsome. He's acting in some horror movie. I think that I really think he's going to take it. And everybody.
Wait, you think who's going to get it?
That Skarsgård person.
He's not nominated.
Who's in Sentimental Value? Oh, in that case, I thought that was the movie.
No, I was talking about the Sentimental movie.
Who's the
No,
lead guy?
nobody. Timothée Chalamet is
Right. And
nominated for
Marty
Best
Supreme.
Actor for the movie Marty Supreme.
Who are
But
the best actor
that
nominees?
the Best Actor nominee. See, now we're jumping all over the place. Fine, whatever. Actor in a leading role: Timothée Chalamet, Leonardo DiCaprio, Ethan Hawke, Michael B. Jordan, and Wagner Moura.
That one. And what movie is he in?
Wagner Moura.
Yeah.
Moura. I think that's how you pronounce it. Moura is his last name. He's in The Secret Agent.
Oh, that looks horrible too. Oh my gosh.
That didn't even cross my mind to actually want to see and try to rate when I was going through my list of what I could watch.
To see a movie about 1970s dictatorship Brazil. Like, really? Who?
Apparently somebody did.
Yeah, 3 Oscar voters. Oh my gosh.
But I mean, I think, well, if we're talking about lead acting, like for Michael B. Jordan to get an Oscar for Sinners, which I think would be the way to go, and not even being biased that, you know, Michael B. Jordan is
I would
cute.
lick his sweat right off that Oscar.
But but the fact that, you know, playing 2 different characters and then the characters having such different, like,
And
even
it's
the
a
way
horror
that
movie, though.
their mouths move. It's not a horror movie. It's not a horror movie. I would not call it a horror movie. I don't know if that's what they categorize it.
I think that will be the excuse that Hollywood uses. That, you know, with the horror
Yeah.
movies, you know, I don't.
Well, there's
I can't-
that.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Then
them
they need
giving
a new
Michael B.
they need a
Jordan's-
new genre to call that, I think, because I don't consider it horror. But also, I think if Sinners doesn't sweep the way that it should, I think it's because there's no white savior, honestly. I was really surprised that they got as many nominations they did, especially the fact that there's no white savior, because there's no, I've not ever watched a white movie or a Black movie that has gotten an Oscar nomination, including like Driving Miss Daisy and stuff like that,
Right.
that won, that didn't have some sort of white savior or some sort of something where the reason why the Black people were able to move into a certain direction was because there was at least
Green
1 or 2
Mile.
white folks. Right. The white folks, they saw and they were like, let me help or whatever. And it's
Right.
just,
The Help.
it's not there. Oh
That
God,
NASA
the help.
movie, Hidden
Jesus.
Figures. Do you remember?
Yeah, because you had to have Kevin Costner come in and beat down that sign because that's how you get rid of segregation.
Right, that right there. Do you remember, I think it was probably the late 80s or the early 90s, when every movie was in inner city high school and either Michelle Pfeiffer, Rhea Perlman, Keanu Reeves came
All
in
the
to
dangerous
coach.
minds.
Right. They came in to coach whatever team or the dance squad. And then they went on to the state championship. And I was like, Rhea Perlman, Michelle Pfeiffer goes into a gritty ghetto school.
Hillary Swank, too.
Yeah,
They all did it. They all
Yeah,
saved some
imagine?
Black children somewhere.
right. I'm sure Michelle Pfeiffer got the script and she was like, oh my God, I can finally show my acting chops. And it's a good story. Yeah. Oh, wow. Thank you,
I've
Marty.
got to save
Thank you.
those inner city youths.
Right. Marty, you brought me the best script ever. Yeah. And then Rhea Perlman's like, I'll do it. I ain't doing nothing else. But I liked hers the best. Wait, Lauryn Hill always plays the girl who's like has a future if she just doesn't get pregnant.
Well, that's always the thing. It's like,
Right,
and
right.
because she sings real good, but
Right, there's
you
a
got to
scene
keep her
and her
away from the
boyfriend-
boys, because
Her
otherwise she'll be
boyfriend dies in the
16.
game thing. Yeah. Always.
Well, then in what was that? Stand and Deliver? No, Stand and Deliver was Edward James Olmos. He was saving the children and the cholos, but it was Lean on Me. And was the girl
Oh.
who played Charmaine on the Cosby Show, and she was the one who got pregnant.
Right.
And
right.
and Joe Clark, he was like, "You smoke crack, don't you? You might as
So
well
now we're
just
talking-
jump off the
Now
roof."
we're talking cinematic excellence. This
Joe
is
Clark,
so wild.
yeah, that and why Me didn't win an Oscar. That's the real question.
There you go.
Morgan
There you
Freeman
go.
and Lean on Me and him talking about you smoke crack, don't you? Like that's tough teaching and administrating. Yes, because I made administrating a word now. But imagine in the school, if you could just do that, you could snatch the child up by the collar and be like, I know you smoke crack.
Those schoolgirl days.
So I want to talk about Timothée Chalamet. And so did you see the big kerfuffle, I guess, around him right now? So I feel like he's not going to win the award because people will be all extra mad because he talked about ballet and opera and how nobody wants to see that. And so you're just, and when he said it, I saw the little clip or whatever, and I think he was just being sort of, whatever. Because apparently his mama was a ballerina in the like New York Ballet or something, and his sister. So like they were a part of like big ballet.
Yeah, he was on a podcast. He was being a bro, and he was saying how ballet and opera don't really, because I guess he was talking about his fan base, and he was like, yeah, well, if I lose them, there goes 14% of my fan base. It was just obnoxious. Here's the thing. He's got that achy white boy thing going on in this movie. And, and Gwyneth Paltrow is in it. It's about a subject no one cares about, but you go between him and Michael B. Jordan. If it's down to the two of them, how are you going to give it to Michael B. Jordan? You just have to. I don't see it. I think that yes, Michael B. Jordan is probably deserving of it, but it just seems he's too hot. He's too young. He hasn't been in enough movies. These are the excuses.
He's been in a lot of movies.
These are the excuses I'm saying. And it's a horror movie. And then you have Timothée Chalamet, one of America's next greatest stars, I cannot see them choosing in this particular year Sinners over that Marty Supreme movie, which looks dumb, though the set dressing and everything, the costumes look that's that period we like, mid-50s, mid-century modern sort of period. I don't know. I can't see it. I hope I'm wrong. I do hope I'm wrong. What else?
And so Googling it says that Sinners is considered a supernatural horror film. Yeah. And fine, whatever. But still.
That's going to be the excuse. But they'll give stuff to Frankenstein because it's, because
that's drama.
I guarantee you. Yeah, and Guillermo del Toro, who is so sexy.
Benicio?
Yeah, that's him. No, Guillermo.
So,
Guillermo. Didn't Benicio direct it, though?
I don't know. Benicio del Toro is nominated for a supporting role in One Battle After Another.
Right, and Guillermo del Toro is in Frankenstein, I guess, directed it. I don't know, read your stuff, read back variety. One Battle After Another, I do think I would like to see sentimental value. 2 movies that I would hate to have to sit through. Whatever we were just talking about, because now I forgot. And Train Dreams.
See, I think I'd see Train Dreams. That looked like it might be interesting.
Alone. Ain't nobody tried to see that.
I didn't say I was trying to go on a date and see it. I was just saying I'd see it. I'd watch it here in my home.
Really? Why?
Because it looked interesting. I don't know. Anyway, it was time to move on. Supporting roles. Okay. So it's time to move on to actors in a supporting role. You have Benicio del Toro in One Battle After Another, Jacob Elordi in Frankenstein, Delroy Lindo in Sinners, Sean Penn, One Battle After Another, and Stellan Skarsgård in Sentimental Value. So my top pick, again, would be Delroy Lindo, because I also love Delroy Lindo. Like, he's one of my favorites. Yeah. On TV or in a movie, I just love Delroy Lindo. But I will say Benicio del Toro was probably the only interesting thing in One Battle After Another for me. He played a really calm character, and he didn't have a very large part, but he was the best part of the movie for me. honestly, was Benicio del Toro. And I got more nuance and layer with him than we did with Teyana Taylor. So,
I think
but Sean Penn...
I think just based on your review of that movie, I think that any actor nominated in it is probably not going to. It doesn't. I trust your judgment, and I think your reasons for hating that movie were pretty good. So I don't see him being able to pull that off.
But see, I think that, I don't know. I think even with the judgment that I have, I don't know that my judgment aligns with Oscars and through their lens. And because Sean Penn, I will say, I think Sean Penn he did a good performance, and he was like a pervert, like military.
But was it
life
changing? In the sense that if Sean Penn is going to win an award, Sean Penn has to compete with Sean Penn. And if it's not up there with the best of Sean Penn, I don't see him getting an award.
So I think the best of Sean Penn was when he played the father that was mentally disabled. That movie, I can't remember the name of it. Dakota Fanning, I think, was in it or something when she was really little.
Dreadful.
But he did such a good job. And so the thing with Sean Penn is he's good at you having to question, like, oh, is that Sean Penn? I think that's him.
Yes.
So because he knows how to morph into characters, because he is a good actor. He's an actor's actor.
Yes,
I give you that. Again, I think he did a really good job with the material he was given. I do not think it was a great movie, and I think the script could have been better. And I think that they even didn't give him enough dimension, but he did a lot with what he had to work with. So I wouldn't be mad if he got it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be mad if he got it, and I'd understand why he got it, because he does a lot in the movie. He probably carries it more than anybody else, certainly more than Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, I was like, you just showed up for a check, for real. But and then the young girl,
support. Yeah,
and the young girl who plays his daughter is good too.
Here's my thing on that category. So you got Benicio del Toro in a mid movie. You got him competing against Sean Penn in that same mid-movie. Jacob Elordi is on a real run right now, and he's a pretty boy, but here he is playing Frankenstein, which means everything that I have seen, he really goes into, it's makeup, but he goes into a different character. Then you got Delroy Lindo, who probably deserves it, and it would be a crime moment if he got it. But this Stellan Skarsgård guy, I think he's the safe choice, and he's he really deserves it. Oh, he flew under the radar. Oh, he's white. Oh, I think that I don't know who I would prefer to see get in that category. I just think that he's got that obvious, the underdog thing going on. And it's in a dumb movie, like one of those movies that you just sit and you go, give me another cracker for my marmalade jam and I'll watch this movie.
That's the best you can do, a little marmalade for your cracker. So actresses in a leading role, Jessie Buckley, Hamnet, Rose Byrne, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, Kate Hudson,
I just love the name of the title.
Renate Risen, I can't pronounce her name, and I apologize. Renate Rines.
Renata. That word is Renata. I don't know how to pronounce her last name.
That is not Renata.
That is Renata.
I don't see.
Renata.
I think you just made that up, but okay. Sentimental value. And Emma Stone in Begonia. I didn't see any of these. I'm going to go with Emma Stone, though, because I think her head was bald. I saw she had a bald head, and that's always like something that kind of shocks people. And they're like, ooh, she made herself look ugly on purpose. And so nobody wants a cute girl to look ugly. So when she does it, then they're like, she gets an Oscar for being so daring to be on stage looking like a alien.
Think that from what I've seen, that looks like a fun movie. It looks interesting. So I am going to say you got this Hamnet thing. It's an English actress. So there's always that. Kate Hudson, You ever notice how flat her butt is? Like, really?
No, but I'm wearing my Fabletics outfit right now, and she is the owner of Fabletics. And so I love a
sitting next to
Fabletics
the
outfit.
Fabletics. Yeah, I'm sitting next to the Fabletics bag you gave me.
Look, right. So we are supporters of Kate Hudson in other ways.
But yeah, the flattest butt. I don't see her, she might win one and everybody could be like, oh my God, and Goldie Hawn could cry, though you wouldn't notice because there's no tear ducts left. But yeah, out of that category, I'm thinking, I would think Emma Stone, but it's going to be one of the European chicks. It's either going to be Renata or Jessie, I think, because they're in those dreary movies that they love to see white actresses in. That's my thought.
Okay. So actresses in a supporting role. We have Elle Fanning in Sentimental Value, Inga. Oh,
Yep.
goodness. Inga
It's a doctor.
in
Yeah.
Sentimental
First
Value.
from St. Olaf.
No, and I practiced her last name the other day. I don't know. And then Amy Madigan in Weapons,
Madigan.
and Wanami Wasaku in Sinners, and Teyana Taylor, One Battle After Another. So I'm gonna give it to Sinners because I'm just glutton for punishment, and I think she deserves, I think she deserves the Oscar.
She would get it if.
But she's also British.
Yeah, it's always. Like they can never find a black actress from America. Don't get me started on Hollywood and that. But I think that if either of the males in Sinners gets it, I can't see them also giving it to the black female from Sinners. This is just has nothing to do with acting. Elle Fanning, she's been in our lives since she was a child. I don't know if she
Her and her
has
sister,
any,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if she has any Oscars. I could see her getting one. I don't. That Inga broad, I don't see it. Amy Madigan, possibly. I don't think it's Tiana's time yet. But I do think she'll eventually be an EGOT. I think out of all the people who are out right now, I think she has.
Yeah, I could see her being an EGOT, but no. I actually wouldn't want her to get it for this movie. I just don't feel like it's good work.
Yeah, it'd be like Halle Berry for Monsters Ball or Elizabeth Taylor for Butterfield 8, So if anybody deserves something, it was Elizabeth Taylor for Butterfield 8.
I mean, flying over that hump of dirt. And the way her mother treated her. So
yeah, Mama was
her mom was not nice.
Yeah,
so if you haven't seen Butterfield 8, you should see Butterfield 8.
And I'm just gonna say real quick, because I know we're on time budget. She deserves it simply because of the scene where she takes her pump and digs the heel into Lawrence Harvey's foot in the bar. That alone, you felt the pain. You felt that man's pain. Okay, so who do we decide?
I still go back to Sinners for that.
Okay, I'm thinking I'm going to go long shot here. I'm going to go Elle Fanning. I'm going to go long shot.
Yeah, Elle Fanning could be, that movie though. So moving on, I wanted to bring up the documentary feature films. Those are other ones. Get some couth and some class with yourself. Documentaries are great. So the nominees for documentary feature film, The Alabama Solution, Come See Me in the Good Light, Cutting Through Rocks, Mr. Nobody Against Putin, and The Perfect Neighbor. Now, I have not seen I've not seen any of them actually, but I planned on watching at least 3 of them.
Perfect Neighbor.
And starting with The Perfect Neighbor, right? So The Perfect Neighbor about the white woman who shot through her door and killed the black woman who was her neighbor because the kids were loud and she was always complaining about them playing outside. But the entire documentary is basically all body cam footage from the many times that the police came over. So I thought that was just such an interesting and unique way in which to piece together a story. So shout out for that. And then the Alabama Solution, I think, is also another one worth watching. I can't remember off the top of my head what it's about, but it's about Alabama and a solution that they have here.
Is this like corn in the pipes? Like what? What the hell?
It's about how you find solutions in Alabama.
Is Monique in it?
It's about the prison system. So it's an American documentary film directed by Andrew Jarecki and Charlotte Kaufman. It follows the prison system in Alabama from perspective of incarcerated leaders. It premiered at Sundance, and it's on HBO. So it's about mass incarceration. So it's up my alley of things that I'm always interested in social justice,
like a fundraiser. Yeah. Okay, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But somebody would come out and say how they're going to get elected and change the system. I got you.
Right. There could be some of that happening. So
I don't see myself sitting through any of those. I would rather watch Marty Supreme on a loop than see any of those. Because I just don't, I'm not that guy. I can't sit through a documentary. Do Peter Pan or something. Do that documentary. Show me like Neverland. I would do that. But no.
The only other thing I want to bring up is that also Ryan Coogler is as the director of Sinners is nominated as Best Director, but he's also nominated as writing the original screenplay. And so
who is that category of Best Directors? Let's go to that category.
Okay.
Because this is something that my Hollywood history comes in handy here.
Okay. Yes. Because what I think is also important is like that baseline of like movies people should see to have a good baseline of like American cinema and thinking about what is Oscar worthy. So directors, the nominees are Chloe Zhao for Hamnet, Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme, Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another, Joaquin Trier for Sentimental Value, and Ryan Coogler for Sinners.
I personally can't. No, it's not that I dislike Paul Thomas Anderson movies. It's just that I always know what they are. I know what they're going to look like. I could probably go in the script and do all his shots for him because nothing ever changes. When you see a Paul Thomas Anderson movie, you're seeing a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. And it's not like when you see a Sofia Coppola movie, yes, you know what's going to happen, but it's interesting. Paul Thomas Anderson just seems to me to be like some bros, not even a bro, because bros would kick his butt, hipster.
That's Maya Rudolph's husband.
Yeah. It's very, he gives me, I wrote this in a coffee shop in Frisco. Yeah. That's when I wrote this. That's the vibe. He's so like, ugh. He drinks matcha, like non-ironically. Like I can't stand him. Marty Supreme, I will say the visuals look good. But of course in a trailer, you're giving hot shots. So you don't really have to sit through the movie. But I will say that the setting and all that looked really good. Sentimental Value looks like they decided to go in a hotel room and film this movie. And this girl is so upset with her dad, and he wants her to do something to make him like popular. When they make the American version starring a Fanning sister, maybe I'll watch it then. And then Chloe Zhao, you got to admit, if that's a woman, and for Hamnet, she's got a pretty good chance. But I would love to see Ryan Coogler get in a young Black director who came up with something new. I'd love to see that. But Paul Thomas Anderson is such one of the in crowd. I wouldn't be surprised to see him walk away with it.
I was just going to say he seems dull.
Exactly. And Maya Rudolph, she does not seem like the type of woman she seems like she'd marry somebody fun, but not anybody who's good in bed. And his movies just say, I'm not good in bed. You know? Am I wrong?
No,
Yeah, see?
no. I'm not as familiar with the other directors besides Ryan Coogler, obviously. But yeah, I would just say Ryan Coogler, he deserves it not only for directing and also for the screenplay, but also just the deal that he put together, that this movie comes back to him as like he has full ownership of it after so many years. I forgot if it's 5 or something like that. And so I feel like that'd be another reason they don't give it to him, because why would you give an Oscar movie to somebody and then now they get all of the revenue after so many years? Like in the actual copyright of it, he holds on to it like it's like his masters, I guess. In the same
his win could upend a 100-year-old system. And you know, if people can, it's just like with how many of these rap stars started on Instagram or TikTok? Once you unleash that and the power goes away from the people who are used to having the power, his win could really upset the entire system. Because now it's like when I go in there, I want the same deal Ryan Coogler got.
Right. And I wonder if he got it because that's when DEI was all the rage, and they were just trying to, appease, because I don't think he could have got that deal now. If the movie was just being thought about, but because it takes years and years to put stuff together. But the amount of years that it takes to put a movie together, to write it and film it and all of that, I'm assuming it started, quite a few years ago.
Matter period.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, 2020, somewhere around there, and he got, maybe he made the deal before he even said what the movie was. I don't know.
Well, I tell you,
but whatever it was, people want him to write a pamphlet about how they
right.
They want a master class.
There are moments in Hollywood history. Frank Sinatra, he got some sort of production deal. Ida Lupino, she owned her movies, I believe, when women directors were just not a thing. And then Elizabeth Taylor getting that first $1 million paycheck. Once there are seminal moments in Hollywood history, and if he wins, the average person may not realize it, but it is definitely a defining moment in the history of Hollywood for all directors and all young people. And if I was an old director, I'd probably be sitting there like pissed, because like the old music stars, these kids today, they own their stuff. They own their TikTok, they own all that. And I guarantee you that there's old R&B stars sitting around, back in my day, they let us have that. They gave me a Cadillac.
You got a Cadillac and a bill.
Yep. Yeah. So, he could really upset the whole system by winning. And therefore, I'm a disruptor in my own time. So, I hope he does win. Anything but Paul Thomas Anderson. Ugh.
So the bottom line is anything but Paul Thomas Anderson. So that means one battle after another just needs to have several seats. And I want to start by saying I am a fan of Teyana Taylor. I am a fan of Teyana Taylor, and I am a fan of her work. And I hope that it brings her really great scripts, and that she's in a Ryan Coogler movie and she's able to show off her acting chops and dance and singing and all the things.
She sort of cannot be in a Ryan Coogler movie now.
Why?
Because let's say she won, for instance, or let's say her next project was a project with a Black director. That in Hollywood would be sort of the kiss of death. Because from that point on, she would be stereotyped. I am so not saying this is cool. I'm saying I know how these people think. I'm from that world. And they would just think, oh, like if she were to just say, is she doing Dionne Warwick next? Who's doing Dionne Warwick? The biopic.
I don't know. It might be her. I feel like I heard her name being tossed around.
They've got the same face. But I hope that between Dionne and now, she has another movie already in the can that will come out and showcase her, because I don't want to see her, and this is what I was asking about earlier, her role, from what you described, is a really common sex pot role. But I get, as a Black woman, where you see the nuances. I would like to have her have another movie where she plays it could have been any race character before she goes into, say, doing Dionne Warwick. Just because, once Hollywood finds a way to marginalize you, they will. And so I just don't want her to get marginalized because
I don't feel like Halle Berry got a bunch of really super great roles after she won an Oscar.
No, she did not. But that was Halle Berry. Halle Berry was at a moment when America was, how do you put this? Halle Berry is white America in the 80s and 90s idea of a beautiful Black woman. So she was in the right place at the right time. She's a beautiful
Black woman.
Yeah, but she was in the right place at the right time for that particular moment. Like when she came out of the water in James Bond, that was the first time I'm sure that millions of white men didn't look at the skin color. They looked at her as hot, and sexy. Yeah, I'm sorry I said it. Yeah, I do think that she was a moment. She was a moment. Whereas I think
I wanted that haircut so bad. I tried and I realized that my hair was too thick and doing too much. I couldn't get the little flips. It didn't work.
Right. Yeah. But so I just, there's a trap that a Black actress can fall into. And it's not of her making, it's just of the system. Hopefully the system is changing. But in the meantime, and I hate to say this because I sound like one of those good Negroes, but I want her to really show her chops in a couple of roles where her race does not matter at all. Because I think she deserves that, to just be considered as an actress rather than as a Black actress. Though I'm proud Black actress, you know.
I understand what you mean. That there has to be something that transcends race and time, where if you were to plop anybody else in, that someone else could play that role, as opposed to something that would be very specific for a Black actress. Because
like it was between her and then that Sydney Magasweeney person. Yeah, and she got it. That kind of thing. Yeah,
because you could take The Color Purple and you couldn't put a white woman in Whoopi Goldberg's place or in Oprah Winfrey's place as Sophia. You couldn't do that, but you could do that in Wicked. Wicked could have been played by anybody. I know that you never saw Wicked, but
and when I saw the trailer, I knew that I had made the right decision.
You were supposed to go see it with me, so it's not a right decision because you were supposed to see it with me. Okay, so that's it. We did it. It's been an hour. So hopefully what we'll do is, we won't do anything. People watch it and they'll see how our predictions go. Our predictions are kind of all over the place, but basically we're down for Sinners to win and a couple other things. You should go on your platforms and give a wrap up and say how our votes went. Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe we can get on the TikTok or something.
Yeah, the TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get on TikTok. Maybe, I've never done a TikTok live. Maybe we'll do a TikTok live together or something. That could be fun.
Yeah, just to go
we could do that afterwards.
That way we could also talk about the fashion.
Which will be the most important part, is the fashion. Who's going to have the best dress and how cute Michael B. Jordan will look. So we can just talk about that.
Yeah.
We'll pretend like we're on the red carpet.
So I will tell you, the person who ruled the Oscars last time, was it the Oscars or what was it? Anyway, Kylie Jenner, that dress she wore with the gold and straps. It was something. Her and Timothée Chalamet. All right.
Oh, I forgot that's her boo. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
I forgot he's a Kardashian lover.
Right. There's a profile of her in Vanity Fair that everybody should see. That's just ridiculous about her.
Okay. Well, enough about that. Derek Washington, thank you so much for joining me for this lively and very quick-witted discussion about the Oscars 2026. And we will follow up online and see how we did. Hopefully folks will watch and have their own commentary about who they think will win and then who got robbed,
your opinion
basically.
In the comments.
Right. All of that. So thank you, Derek, and happy birthday to you.
Hey, toodles.
Y'all, this has been Sticky Note Conversations. We hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as we did. See you next week.
Thanks for listening to Sticky Note Conversations with Erika Washington. Hosted and executively produced by Erika Washington. With editing by Black Gypsy LLC. Special thanks to KUNV 91.5 in Las Vegas. This show is powered by Make It Work Nevada, a project of Tides Advocacy.